Hi everyone, I'm Glory and you're welcome back to the channel. The Department of Homeland Security recently posted something called Remigration Now. So let's get into the video.
Remigration now is code for ethnic cleansing and mass deportations, whether you're a citizen or not. It started meaning that certain demographics were returning home voluntarily, but it's been hijacked mostly by European neo-Nazi circles and alt-right circles here in the United States, the same ones that are actually running our government at the moment, to mean not returning home and not voluntarily, but more along the lines of let's get rid of anyone we don't want in this country that we want to be all white. Yes, this term has traveled from European fascist circles and movements into possibly and quite obviously, I would say, into the US government's language. And yeah, we should definitely be concerned. It's far-right extremist code for eliminate, extinguish, exterminate, and deport anyone that you don't feel belongs, whether they are citizens or not, whether they were born here or not, whether their family has been here longer than you or not, which means any of us can get it. And yes, the same ideology behind the remigration theory or movement or solution is also the Great Replacement theory. It's behind the anti-immigration laws. It's behind the book bans, the voter purges, the anti-trans laws, the anti-black fear-mongering. And it's behind every attempt to shrink who counts as a real American and who doesn't. It's colonial logic. With language like this, the United States government is laying the groundwork so that they can decide who gets to stay, who gets to be erased, and who gets to be protected. Notice how when they talk about remigration, they're not talking about sending themselves anywhere else. No, they talk about Latinos, Muslims, Africans, Asian communities, Palestinians. Let's keep it real. Black Americans have seen this before. From slave patrols to sundown towns, the agenda has always been the same. Control the demographics, you control the power. So we're gonna call it what it is. It's ethno-nationalism. No matter how they try to dress it up as a cute little euphemism, we see what it is. Everyone should see what it is and what they're saying. They want a white America, a whites only America. And they're not being quiet about it anymore.
Well, the official Homeland Security account is once again advocating for remigration, a term that has a very dark history in far-right politics. They said the stakes have never been higher and the goal has never been more clear. Remigration now. Then down here they post 2 times saying help arrest them, help deport them, please join ICE. For anybody who's unfamiliar with this term, here's what it means. It's a European far-right concept of ethnic cleansing via the mass deportation of non-white minority populations, especially immigrants and sometimes including those born in Europe and holding European citizenship, to their place of racial ancestry. This isn't a neutral word, it is a dog whistle with a very specific and dangerous meaning. They're essentially saying they want to go after every single person who is not white in this country, even if you came here the legal way. That includes people who were born here but may have parents or even grandparents that weren't born here. They're going after them too, anybody who's not deemed white enough. And even worse, they're posting links encouraging the general public to help arrest and deport innocent people. This is not how American law enforcement or immigration enforcement is supposed to work at all. U.S. policy should be grounded in the law and the Constitution, not imported extremist far-right ideology.
Today, the Department of Homeland Security's official X account posted, "The stakes have never been higher and the goal has never been more clear. Remigration now." And if you're not familiar with what the term remigration is, it is a far-right term that is essentially a euphemism for ethnic cleansing. Oh, and if you look at the link that they posted under the original tweet, it's a link to the ICE website. They're trying to recruit more ICE officers. But yeah, so the term remigration is popular amongst white supremacists, white nationalists who, their end goal is essentially to forcibly remove non-white people from the US to create a white America. So it's particularly concerning that the Department of Homeland Security is using the term remigration because, that's not even subtle. That's not a dog whistle. That is straight up the U.S. Department of Homeland Security calling for ethnic cleansing.
Have you heard about the alarming language the Department of Homeland Security's social media pages are using? the DHS posted the phrase remigration now. And if you don't know the history of that word, listen, because here's why it's a huge deal. Remigration isn't a policy term. It's not legal jargon. It's a slogan used by the far-right white nationalist movements in Europe. A euphemism for large-scale forced deportation of non-white immigrants. It's a word historically tied with ethnic cleansing. So when the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the agency with the power to detain, deport, and enforce immigration laws, uses that word publicly, it's not an accident, it's a signal. Experts warn normalizing extremist language reframes immigration as an existential threat and opens the door for policies that target entire communities, even people already here legally. Official government rhetoric matters. And when the DHS starts using white nationalist buzzwords, that isn't just concerning, that's dangerous. This is the kind of language that shifts the norm and justifies extreme behavior. Pay attention, because words like this coming from a government are never just words. Share your thoughts in the comments section and follow me for more.
From one tweet to an Office of Remigration. I've been doing a series about the DHS post on November 28th that said the stakes have never been higher and the goal has never been clearer. Remigration now. I've been doing a deep dive into this, and I will continue to do videos on this because this is extremely concerning for all of us. But a lot of people are saying, oh, that's just this administration's rhetoric. Is it? Or is there an actual plan? Because there is more going on here than one rogue social media post. First, this isn't the first time that the Department of Homeland Security has used the word remigration. Back in October, the official DHS X account posted a single word, remigration. I missed it then, but that post was linked to a government page encouraging what they call self-deportation, basically telling immigrants to go back voluntarily. This was big enough that Time magazine wrote about it, and they pointed out that the word remigration has roots in European white nationalist movements, where it's a polite way to say ethnic cleansing. So by the time they posted remigration now on November 28th, this wasn't a mistake. It was a continuation. Now let's zoom out, because earlier this year, reporting surfaced on a plan inside the Trump administration to create an Office of Remigration at the State Department. What would that office do? Coordinate efforts to get immigrants and refugees to leave, not just to block new arrivals. Now listen, immigrants and refugees who are here legally are included in that list. And they would use domestic pressure, visa rules, and foreign policy to push reverse migration. They take ideas from far-right think tank fanatics and turn them into official U.S. policy architecture. That's what the Office of Remigration is. This is important because once you build an office with a mandate to re-migrate people, the slogan becomes part of the machinery. You can also place this inside the larger Project 2025 blueprint, which is to dramatically reduce overall immigration numbers, to make asylum and refugee status extremely hard to get, and to expand removal and denaturalization of some American citizens. And then think about what Trump said on Thanksgiving Day, and that is, it's time to start denaturalizing certain U.S. citizens. We have shifted from America is a nation you can join to America is a club that we can kick you out of. An Office of Remigration would be a hub for all that, signaling that the goal isn't just border security, it's population reshaping. If you don't want a country that's made up just of people like me, then we need to make our voices known. We don't accept this ideology. We don't define America by our skin color or our ancestry. And you cannot denaturalize citizens without the rest of us standing up for our neighbor. Go out there and love your neighbor.
I need everyone who voted for this to come to the front. Department of Homeland Security put out a post that said, re-immigration now. Now, if you don't know what re-immigration is, it's a far-right concept of ethnic cleansing. They're essentially trying to whitewash the country. That means that they want no minorities. The way that they are doing that is by removing Hispanic, Mexican immigrants. But please know that the rest of us, the blacks, any other minority, mixed race, biracial, however you identify, if you are not pure white, they're coming for you too. So what I would like is for everyone who voted for this administration to let me know in the comments whether you knew you were voting for this and this is what you stand by, or if you feel like this isn't what you voted for and you are no longer supporting this administration. And those of you that didn't vote for this, let me know in the comments how you feel about this. I am absolutely disgusted that this is the America that we live in. What happened to checks and balances? Rant over.
Let's start with the basics. What is remigration? Essentially, it is a call to send immigrants and people of color back to their countries of origin. It sounds extreme because it is extreme. This isn't just immigration policy. This is ethnic cleansing in plain sight. Historically, this kind of thinking comes from far-right white nationalist group in Europe, and now it's creeping into the US. It's rooted in the same ideology as the Great Replacement theory, which is the belief that white people must control who counts as American. And let's be clear, this affects everyone who is not white. Black Americans, Muslims, Asians, biracial families, even citizens who have lived here for generations are at risk. For Black Americans, this is not new. We have seen this logic before, from slave patrols to Jim Crow laws, from sundown town to voter suppression. Controlling demographics has always been a way to control power, and now it's being repackaged in government language like re-immigration to make it sound acceptable. So what do? First, educate yourself, learn what these policies and terms really mean. Don't let euphemisms like re-immigration or immigration reform fool you. Secondly, protect your communities. Look out for your neighbors, your friends, and everyone affected. Share information and make sure people knows what is happening. Lastly, speak up, comment, share, and stand with Black Americans and all communities of color. Use your voice. If this message resonates with you, comment below, share your thoughts, like, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.